Hello and welcome back to My Mom's Basement for a quick hitter on the Moon Knight trailer. We got the trailer during Monday Night Football last night. I was actually at Scream when this premiered, so I was so delayed. I hit Twitter and my replies, my mentions were blowing up because everyone was freaking out over this. It was a pretty intense trailer starring Oscar Isaac. Clem, what did you think of the Moon Knight trailer?
So I liked it. I had no idea that it even premiered during the game because I was on the Manning cast. So the Manning cast, I'm
Oh,
just living in that world, and then whenever they go to commercial, my brain just shuts off altogether. So I'd be a little different. I liked it. It's definitely a different kind of Marvel movie than we're used to for the
oh
most
yeah.
part, right? This is gonna
Show.
be show, excuse me, yeah, show. Disney Plus. All things considered, though, I think we're in a good spot. I'm sure we'll break down the whole King of Boodle. And also, this is one Marvel project that neither of us barely know anything about. So
I
the
know
Basic
nothing
Boys are
about it.
learning
Yeah.
with you guys.
Exactly. I took this little blurb from Variety. They said Oscar Isaac plays Mark Spector, an ex soldier with a profound case of dissociative identity disorder that manifests as fully distinct individuals. He becomes the conduit for the Egyptian moon god Khonshu. I think I'm saying that right.
Yep,
Khonshu,
Conchu.
which only further exacerbates Mark's anxiety over his mental illness. This looks like maybe one of the darkest Marvel shows or movies that we've seen yet, just in tone and the mental illness aspect and even how Oscar Isaac is playing it, how it's shot. The shot of the old woman walking towards the elevator when it looks like a demon at first, and then she comes in and he's like looking for a contact lens, and she goes, "I hope you find it." So we know the humor is in it too with that, but it was also like a pretty scary scene right before that joke.
Yeah, it was some creepy shit, and again, that's the kind of vibes we're getting, which you don't really get. And this trailer, just like in like the little teaser they had a few weeks, months ago, whatever it was, I smell the museum. I could smell a
Yeah.
museum the entire time that I'm watching it, which I loved. And that demon or whatever you want to say that he sees, I believe that is Conchu. So I again shout out to my guy Emergency. Also, he broke down a lot of this stuff for me. I watched his YouTube, and I think that's the moon god. Those beak guys always creep me out, like the
Yeah.
Egyptian gods or whatever you want to call them. That like whole look just fucking gives me the willies every time I see it. So I can tell there's gonna be a few of those like jump scares in the movie that are gonna, or the, excuse me, the show that are gonna really fuck me up.
You keep saying movie, but this trailer honestly felt like a trailer to a
Right?
movie to me. Yeah. With the Kid Cudi Day and Night, which was like an awesome inclusion. It was such a good use of the soundtrack. We also know that they're putting a lot into this with them licensing songs for the trailer and whatnot. We've got Ethan Hawke playing the villain as a cult leader. I love him. He's a great actor. So I'm looking forward to that. Anything with a cult leader in it is usually pretty good, I feel like.
We had talked about this about kind of the two kinds of scary, like supernatural scary. Cult leaders are real life scary. That kind
Yeah.
of like gives me that gives me real life chills because there's people who are like that in real life, and just the way everyone was bowing down to him, I'm like, oh fuck, that guy's a problem right there. And I read somewhere, I think David Koresh was maybe part of like the inspiration with that. So
Oh, wow.
and I'm a big Ethan Hawke guy as well. So
Yeah.
if you have him playing a role like that, I'm
Just him and Oscar Isaac like going back and forth. Those scenes are going to be amazing. Those are two A-list, like maybe not A-list in terms of name, but A-list in terms of like talent actors in my mind.
Yes, and then I think having a cult leader in a TV show is so much better than having like that villain in a movie because you get episodes to kind of see his power, how he uses it, how he grows it, all that kind of stuff, the sick twisted shit that might be going on with it. So that is why I think this as a TV show could really work. And we just finished Hawkeye, right? Which was
Yeah.
happy Christmas, everything was good. Not so much here
This is the
coming up.
opposite. And this is also debuts on March 30th. Will be, I believe, or it'll be right before Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness because that got delayed. It was originally supposed to come out in March and now it's delayed. This is maybe going to usher in this darker era of the MCU. I could see the end of this phase being darker with Kang coming in Ant-Man 3, with the darker things happening. I feel like Kang's going to get one over on our heroes right before this phase ends. So I think this is going to usher in like kind of a new phase. And I don't think this is going to be super connected, but I think just in tone, it'll help welcome that.
Just by coincidence, I happened to turn on Marvel Lego Superheroes 3, or I don't know, whatever one it is, on my Switch just to show AJ because he's never played before. I was like, dude, you could be Spider-Man. And he was Spider-Man for like 20 minutes just web slinging around the city. And I forgot how Kang in the game, you have all these different time periods. You have the future, you have Wakanda now, you have, other parts of the galaxy, but then you also have like these olden times, and I'm like, Kang is like the main villain of the game. And I was like, oh shit, this might be one of those things where it's like the medieval times and these like ancient Egyptian times can be pulled in, and I don't know how all these timelines are going to add up. But Kang's going to fuck some shit up. And I got really excited thinking about Jonathan Majors in the last episode of Loki, which I have to go back and rewatch just now that it's like all done with, and just be like, this is what we have coming up at the end. The Kang game at the end of whatever this phase is. And by the way, this was another thing. I have to get my names laid out now. Again, old man, bad brain, all that kind of stuff. Stephen Grant, Mark Spector, Moon Knight. Those are the three things we're kind of juggling here. The woman that calls him Stevie, by the way, this is old school Clem going off, shooting off the hip. Sussless. Sussless that bitch. She just has that weird little grin about her, too. I'm like, sus as a motherfucker. I do not trust that bitch one bit. So she's on the sus list. We already have the sus list lined up before we even get started. And when he was in the bed with the Rubik's Cube, and he's like, I don't know the difference between my waking life and my dreams. Hey, buddy, welcome to 20 motherfucking 20. That's what life was like then. I mean, it was fucking every day you woke up, there was more bad news. You go to bed at night, there was a whole bunch of new bad news you hadn't even dreamt of, and you fucking kept that circle going. So I feel like I might be Moon Knight, and I don't even know right now.
I know he's going to be very relatable to us, even though he's got this crazy Egyptian god half-life. He's going to be relatable to the viewers, I think. I like the accent Oscar Isaac is doing. I like the costume they show at the end. I think it looks badass with the glowing eyes. The way it wraps onto him is very unique.
Yes.
We haven't seen something like that before, so I'm looking forward to this a lot. I think Moon Knight could sneaky be like Rookie of the Year 2022.
Yeah, that definitely could be. He's on the radar. Like if you're looking at you will go like the heavy nerd sports references. Like you go to the Baseball America or whatever. I don't know anything about like anything below the majors, and I just blindly listen to their like these are the top 10 guys in the minors if I want to do fantasy baseball or who's gonna be good. Moon Knight is on there, and this is including MCU, DC. I'll throw even like the Throne show that's coming out this year, all that kind of stuff. I think Moon Knight can be legit. Just the way he was beating the shit out of the dude in the bathroom, which by the way, shout out my guy Emergency House again. Point out that is Werewolf by Night, who is a big time. I guess Werewolf by Night is where Moon Knight debuted once upon a time. I have to say though,
that's a beloved comic, and they're doing Werewolf by Night as a Halloween special on Disney Plus.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. So we are going heavy into this Agatha, Doctor Strange, Wanda side of the MCU, supernatural kind of shit, and we have werewolves getting introduced to them. Fucking Dracula's going to be coming in soon. We're going to be getting the whole night, obviously, with Blade and the Vampires. So I have to say, though, Werewolf by Night, you're starting to get, like, Spider-Man, Thor, Captain. The names are starting to lose their luster a little bit. Let's be honest, right? Like, Werewolf by Night can be a fun character. I know nothing about it.
People love Werewolf by Night. They love him.
They're gonna come at me for this. So is he like blogger by day, werewolf by night? Like, what's his deal during the day?
I don't know. I've heard Kevin Smith talk about him for 10 years.
Oh, so if Kevin Smith is signing off on him, like you want to talk about like vouching and paying your respects, like our guy Grandpa Delabella. If the Godfather himself, Kevin Smith, vouches for Werewolf by Night, he's cool by me. But just like the rawness of just beating the shit out of him, I was like, all right, this is the kind of show we're getting here. I feel like that's the kind of superhero we're dealing with. A little Batman vibes, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like the white clone, like the parallel of Batman, almost the mirror image of Batman. I'm looking forward to it. It debuts on March 30th, stars Oscar Isaac, Ethan Hawke, as we said, and we will be here to recap all of it. We'll also find a way to do Peacemaker recaps coming up soon. I watched the first 3 episodes. I thought they were fantastic, so I'm excited to talk about it.
Everything I've been reading online has been good to great, not just like the episodes, but I guess the music. I saw you blogged about the intro being awesome, so I'm like, I have to get in and catch up. So we'll get the Peacemaker stuff up. Obviously, we have Book of Boba. Basement is thriving right now. Hit the subscribe, thumbs up YouTube, and we got to get Jose on. Jose Young's on for some for Moon Knight, because
he'll give us a full like prep class.
Yes. When does it come out? Is there a date?
March 30th.
Oh fuck! I thought it was like fall. I
No.
was so deep like
This
writing
is
my
the
notes
next
down.
show that we're getting from
All
Marvel.
right, let's go, Moon Knight. This is you see this like you just see the excitement boil into my eyes now. I love it. That's the perfect analogy too. Fucking right as baseball season start, Moon Knight season starts, so we're ready to rock and roll right as springtime rolls around. Let's go, baby.